Welcome to the question of the day. Today's question is from Scott in Alberta, Canada. And Scott asks, I'm a selling tech. My customers always think I'm trying to sell them something. So much so that I've started flipping to our salesperson. How do I not come off salesy? Great question. You never want to appear salesy. You never want to feel salesy. If you appear salesy, if your customers are saying you're just trying to sell me something, and that's common occurrence, like we should just stop. Something's not working right. And so we got to check and see, why does this feel salesy? Now, sometimes it's a mindset, right? Like if nobody's saying it, but your mindset is that I feel salesy, you might just have to seek other validation that you're doing the process correctly, because it might be your own mental thing. But if customers are saying you're trying to sell me something, and they're saying you're being salesy, like we got to stop what we're doing. So here's some things I would do to check. So first thing I would do, I would check with my scorecard. I should have a scorecard tied right into my sales process, and I'm looking at that scorecard. How well am I executing the process? Second thing I would do, get a manager to ride along. A manager is a great second set of eyes. They understand the process. They're going to see the things you don't. They're going to be able to give me good feedback. Am I being salesy? Am I executing the process the way that I should be? A third way is going to be role play. Role play the process with someone else. I know role play is, a big, scary, dirty word, but like that's how the best get better. Amateurs practice till they get it right. Professionals practice until they can't get it wrong. But role play so that you know the process, you execute the process, and you're also getting feedback on how you execute the process. And then maybe ride along with somebody else. Ride along with somebody else who has solid sales numbers, who you know is executing the process well, and see what success looks like. For me to execute success, I first have to know what success looks like. So those are 4 quick things I would do. But I have one fifth thing, a big fifth thing here. And usually, if we feel salesy, it's either that we're really not executing the processes really well, or it's this fifth thing. The fifth thing is your customer with? Is your customer coming with you? I want the customer with me throughout the entire process. Anytime away from your customer, nothing good is happening. So think about that for a second. If we're executing our process and our customer's not with us, we're doing everything away from them. No value is being built. So there's no value in my solutions, no value in the company, no value in me. And then I present these options. And they weren't expecting any of this, right? Like it sounds in this situation like maybe they weren't expecting these options. And so they feel like they're just being upsold something. Well, if I'm not shopping for something and you're trying to sell me something, that's exactly it. You're selling me something. That's salesy. I wasn't expecting any of this because I wasn't with you. I don't know where these options came from. Maybe these are valid options. Maybe they are. Maybe these are things the homeowner actually needs, but I don't know where they came from. So it feels like I'm being upsold. You can explain it, but now you're explaining it after the fact. It's reactive and it feels like upselling. Especially if my whole purpose for being out there was something small, like a small repair. And now I'm recommending like a new system. Like they don't know how did I get from a small repair to a new system? Or worse yet, a system check. Maybe this was just like a seasonal maintenance. I think it's not going to cost me anything. This is part of my plan. And all of a sudden you're talking to me about replacing my whole system here. Like, how did we get from here to here? Like, if I wasn't with you for that journey, that feels like quite a jump. So in an effort to make sure your customers are coming with, here's a few areas I would check in to ensure your customer is with. Now, the first area I would check with whoever's setting your leads, whoever's scheduling the leads, if it's call center, whatever it is, and see what their script is. Like, see what expectations they're setting. And I want to preface, every company I tell to go check this, like 99 times out of 100, they're already doing this. Okay. So I'm not saying this to like point the finger at another department. Just worth checking if you're that 1 in 100. Okay. Because it would help us. But check in with the call center. Are they setting an expectation of time, like how long this time is going to take for this call. Are they setting an expectation that the customer needs to be available, right? Did they set that expectation? They usually are though. So I'm not too worried about this, but it's worth checking, right? Just check with your call center, whoever books the appointment. What expectations are they setting ahead of time? Right. I'm not saying customers are going to listen to that and abide by everything because a lot of times it goes in one ear, not the other. But at least I know I've got that support up front that they have the expectation of how long is it going to take and that they should be available for the call. Now, from there, it's all me, right? Now, I get out there, I should be setting a visual agenda and big part of that visual agenda, I should be setting the expectation that the customer is coming with. I'm not asking, I'm not mildly suggesting, I'm not saying, well, if you want to, you can. I'm respectfully telling them. And you can do that. You can do that as long you can say anything you want as long as you say it respectfully. But I'm not asking, I'm not mildly suggesting, I'm respectfully telling them they're going to be coming with me. So this aligns with that expectation that was set from the call center. So now they've heard it twice, right? And think about this, like customers, they have all kinds of questions and anxieties before you come out. Like their head is spinning. Who is this? Who's coming out? Are they background checked? How long are they going to be here? Like, do I need to put the dog away? Like, is this stuff going to be, what are they going to think of my house? My house is a mess. Oh my goodness, I forgot to do the dishes. Like, I got to get the kids to school. Like, there's a million things they're thinking of. And one of those things is they are thinking, should I follow this person or not? Because on the one hand, like I want to follow them because I don't know who they are and they're going to be like in my house. Like, do I trust this person? So I kind of want to keep an eye on them. But on the flip side, I don't want to like hover over them. And then there's this awkward silence. Like they're doing their thing and I'm just standing there watching them. Like that just seems horrible. So like they're thinking about this, right? Like this is an anxiety that they're thinking about. And if I get there and I set a visual agenda and I respectfully tell them that they're going to come with me, I've now alleviated that anxiety for them. They now know it's okay to come with me. In fact, I want you to come with me, right? And so do that for your customers. Set that visual agenda. Tell them respectfully that they're coming with you. Now, sometimes a customer, they had other expectations. They were often they're on a Zoom call, right? They're working from home and they're on a Zoom call. And this is where I would stand my ground. And this is why I wanted the call center setting expectations. So this isn't the first time they're hearing it, but you're going to give them an either or on a Zoom call. If they're on a Zoom call and they can't come with you, I'm going to say like, well, actually, I mean, I do need you to come with because I'm going to have questions for you. I mean, you live here, right? Like, you know what it looks like, smells like, sounds like. I got a lot of questions for you. So would we be able to free up time now or should we schedule for a different time? Give them an either or. Usually customers are going to free up now. They may have to like, hey, give me 15 minutes and I'll be ready. Like, but usually they want to get this done and they'll come with you then. And if not, great, we'll schedule a second visit to come back when they are free. But nothing good is going to get accomplished if I do this call by myself. It's going to feel salesy because there's going to be options on there and it's going to look like I'm upselling them. I need them to come with so they're part of this journey. Because spoiler alert, your price is going to be higher than anybody else that comes out. And you have no value built in the company or you or the solutions, and you're going to look like a crook. You're upselling me and you cost more than anybody else, but because they haven't been along for the journey. They have no idea how we got here. Now, once a customer's with you, you have a job to do. You have to keep them engaged. Okay. So I don't want them to be with so they can just stare at the back of my head the entire time. I want them engaged. And so one of the ways that I'm going to engage them is I'm going to teach them. I'm going to get them hands-on. I'm going to have them doing this with me. And how I start down that journey is I ask this question. I say, hey, scale of 1 to 10. How much do you know about your system? Like 10, I know everything about it. I could design these things. 1, I didn't even know it was here. Scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable are you with your system? And they're going to answer, right? And regardless of what that answer is, I'm going to say, well, in a matter of safety, Do you want me to teach you a few things? Nobody's going to say no to that in a matter of safety. Of course, yes, everybody is interested in safety. Okay. So in regard to safety, yeah, you can teach me a few things. And now that starts us down that path. And we can do this together. And I would start with something small, right? Like if this is HVAC, I'm probably going to point out the power switch. I'm going to say, that's the power switch. That's the thing that shuts this whole thing down. If you ever needed to shut this thing down, you flip that switch. In fact, why don't you flip that switch right now so it doesn't turn on us? Yeah, go ahead. And that's a small ask, but I'm now getting them to do this with me. Now from there, we can keep going. They can open this whole system with me. There may be some things I got to pull some tools out and do, but I want them opening the system with me. And I'm going to set them up for the expectations of what we're looking for, right? Like if I'm opening an HVAC system, I'm going to say something like, now, when we open this up, I don't want to see any rust or dust or mold or moisture. And then when we open it up and we see rust and dust and mold and moisture, now it wasn't me just adding something, trying to sell something. They found it. They're the ones stopping and looking up at me and going, what do we do? And you can do this even if this is like a system check, right? Like even if there is no repair to be made here, it's just a system check. Tell them what you're checking. Hey, see this tool here? This is what that tool does. This reading is good. This reading is bad. This is why it's good. This is why it's bad, right? And then do the reading. All right, what does that say, Mr. and Miss Customer? What does that mean? Like, they're now part of that journey. They're the ones finding the problems. And when they find the problem, they're looking at you now like, how do we solve it? So you have to keep them engaged. Even if it's writing down the readings or writing down the measurements for you, just to speed things up, like keep them engaged. When they're part of finding the problem, they will look to you for solutions. No sales pitch. No salesy language. They're asking you, what do we do? And now you're a problem solver. And that's what everybody wants. They want a problem solver. Ben Franklin said, tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I will learn. And that's what I want to do here. I want to involve my customer. They will learn. Your competitors aren't doing any of this. And when they find those things, now your options make sense. I didn't throw anything on there just to sell it. It makes sense. I'm solving your problem. Your competitors, they're just telling them and telling them poorly. You're involving your customer. You will not be seen as salesy. In fact, they'll be thanking you. So that's today's question of the day. If you're enjoying question of the day, follow, share, and give a rating. Question of the day is on major streaming platforms. If you have a question, reach out to me either on social media or email. Both are going to be listed below in the show description. Let's get your questions answered. And if you're a Nextstar member, schedule a call with me. Let's get this addressed one-on-one. Let's get very specific to your situation. I'm Coach Chris. We'll see you tomorrow.